I actually, at Clemson, I studied therapeutic recreation working with handicapped kids. And I ended up going into what became a new industry called sports marketing. So I moved to New York City and ran a youth skills program called Pitch, Hit, and Run for Major League Baseball for 5 years. Worked with Miller Brewing Company out of Chicago and did all of their sports marketing. In 1989, Coca-Cola called me and asked me to move back to Atlanta where people sounded like me. And I ran their sports marketing department and all the World Cup, Olympics, baseball, Major League Baseball, NASCAR. And then I started working a lot more closely in NASCAR and brought the company into the Days of Thunder movie. Signed a deal with Kyle Petty to be our NASCAR driver for the Mellow Yellow number 42 car at Coke. And then I left to come manage a new kid that was coming up named Jeff Gordon. I managed all of Jeff Gordon's marketing and branding to help him start his career when he was 22 years old. And then one of my clients was Adam Petty, Kyle Petty's son. It was the first fourth generational athlete in the history of the world, from Lee Petty to Richard Petty to Kyle to Adam. And Adam was killed on May the 20th of 2000. And something happened to my heart that day. And I knew I had more to do. So I left doing that and I started writing from my heart from that day forward. I wrote for me. There were things, the reason I write is when I was little, every night my mom would come in and she would ask me a question. What was the best part of your day? And she would make up a rhyme about my day. And then we would get on our knees and we said our prayers on the bedside. And she would read me a golden book. And fast forward 50 years, Mom was diagnosed with dementia, which became Alzheimer's in 2012. And I knew the day would come, but I went in to give her a kiss at the Carol Campbell Center. And she jumped back in shock and said, "Who are you?" And I'm like, today's the day. So what I did was, I'm like, what do you do with that? So I went to the attic of my mom's house and I found all the little golden books that she ever read to me. And I found my old bear, Eli Benjamin Bear, and I brought him back and put him in her lap. And I read the stories that she read to me. And even though she was blind and had Alzheimer's, I thought her memory was gone. She mouthed the words to every story she ever read to me. And I'm like, there's power in this story. I want to write stories that help kids remember how special they are and that the parents can read to them, because bedtime stories are dying. Kids have electronic babysitters now. And to hear the words, to feel the person next to you reading those stories, how much they love you while they read those stories, never leaves us. And I don't want that to happen. So I wrote this story in perfect rhyme, so it's easy to remember, and it has powerful messages underneath. So I just want kids and parents and loved ones to read the stories to each other, and in that way they live in each other's hearts forever. I was raised thinking to be successful I had to make a lot of money and have a big house and a nice family. And once I got past all that, I just realized that I was giving my gift away and it was being commoditized. I was helping other people make money with what I did, and I'm going to say abusing my gift. I don't really mean it that way, but I wasn't using it the way it was meant to be brought into the world. So I just started writing for me. I wrote this book that I was inspired to write about my own life, and I wanted to come back and share those stories with the kids in the schools where I went to school. So I started off with H.B. Rame back on October the 20th, and I've just been coming back and telling kids stories and telling them the power of writing and reading and their imaginations and telling stories. I had phenomenal teachers. My fondest memory was Mr. H.B. Rame, my principal. But I love Mr. Rame. He was a towering person, but he knew every child's name in the school, and he taught us things about life, and he became my hero. And also in Richland One, my English teacher at Columbia High, Mr. James Arthur Broom, taught me the power of caring for other people. I was in Key Club with him, and we would go and work with senior citizens. It's why I wanted to work with handicapped kids when I went to college. They both inspired me. Mr. Rame was Batman, Mr. Broom was Robin to me. Those were my two heroes, and they formed my life without knowing it.